Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Just kicking off the meeting now. Raquel Goodrich, our chair who typically runs these meetings, is under the weather today. So we'll have Adrian Sense Trees lead our meeting today. Adrian, are you in the space already?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I have the slides, so you can let me know when to move forward or backwards. And I already started the recording, so I think we are good to go.
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I keep getting, give me 1 second. Pings to open, admit people. Welcome, everyone, to our January meeting. Vico, go ahead and advance the slide. If you could please in the chat introduce yourself, your organization, and preferred pronouns. um, and then also in the chat, we'll do a little icebreaker to indicate which work group you would like to be. I guess it's not really an icebreaker, but just a preference on where you want to be, which work group for this afternoon's breakout session. So we have communications, membership, coalition activities. So I'll give you all just a few minutes to introduce yourself in the chat, your organization and preferred pronouns, and where you want to be during the breakout. Vico, I get based upon the 24 preferences, you will be able to put together some breakout rooms with the 3 breakout rooms with those preferences.
Yes, I'll work as speedily as I can to assign folks to the different rooms.
No worries. We'll have plenty of time with updates until then.
And I know, Adrian, that you're getting all the pings for admitting people. Don't worry about those. I'll let them in.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Thank you. Let's try to multitask. So as you are entering, please introduce yourself, your organization, and preferred pronouns in the chat, and also where you would like to be, which work group you would like to be in for today's breakout sessions. We have communications, membership, and coalition activities. Okay, Vico, if you could please advance the slide. You are seeing today's agenda, and we just did introductions. I hope there might be a member from White Hat here to provide us an update. That would be wonderful if I could pass the torch on to somebody from White Hat.
Let me take a look real quick. I sent the information. Yes, we have Deanna on here. Deanna, are you hearing us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, now
can.
we can.
Okay.
Awesome. So typically the way, I know that this is your first PBHC meeting, so the way that these meetings are structured is that in the beginning, we let the White Hat, Yeb, whoever is here representing for the meeting, give us an update on the White Hat activities and any sort of things that might be on the horizon. So feel free and give us that update now.
Yeah, I guess recently, in the past few weeks, we've kind of just been continuing to work on some of the projects that we started in 2024. So we've been working on like updating our website platform on the Pima County Public Library's website. We've also been working on a podcast that's going to be sharing some stories about substance abuse and stuff like that, personal stories. And then we also are just working on making, like, combining resources and stuff, and making them into little posters, kind of promotional material to be sharing around schools and things. So that's kind of what we've been doing. We've been dividing and putting our efforts towards outreach like that, pretty much. Yeah.
On
Wonderful.
another, I was going to say on another note, they also had their winter social last month to kind of wrap up the first semester of school, and they got to play a bunch of sort of like winter-based games and just have some time to get to know one another a little bit more and not be so focused on all the work that they're doing.
Cool. Does anybody have any questions for Deanna about YHAT and the wonderful work that they're doing? Okay. Thank you for that update. The next agenda item is the membership working group presentation where we will vote on membership levels. And I believe we have a different, a slide deck maybe? Or a different, tell me, Vico, I just glanced at the email Raquel sent about voting, or just that we have to vote maybe? Am I making something up?
No, yeah, there will be some voting. Let's see, let's advance the slides here. I think the slides were integrated in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so who from the membership working group? Stacy Hackett, are you on the call?
Would somebody from the membership working group like to present?
Yeah, I don't see Stacy in the roster quite just yet.
Hey guys, this is Kenneth Welch. I am a part of that group. I, however, do not have our slide deck. I've been a little bit ill, and I got married a couple of weeks ago, so I've just been off the grid, if you will. But essentially, what we had proposed at the last time we got together is what we were talking about. I know there were some additional questions about if we were looking at that youth membership and the White Hats expectations of the youth members would work directly with White Hat, et cetera, et cetera. So I know there was a question or two that we had not yet had clarification on, but I do not have the most up-to-date information to share with the team at this moment.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the response. Maybe Michael and Vico, we just pause for next month's coalition meeting.
Yeah, I'm not sure who else is on that team, but yeah, I'm not seeing Stacy on here, who I think was gonna be the one to bring up the vote. So yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay,
I
Michael's
don't,
not even here. So.
yeah, I'm not sure if Michael's gonna be here today either.
Okay. Everybody's a bit under the weather, so.
Yes, very true.
I'm here and I'm part of the membership work group. But I agree with Kenneth that we did talk about these at length with the whole membership at our last meeting. And so I'm hoping that, what we captured was kind of the consensus of the whole group. And so really, I think this is just more of a formality to say that, yes, we do agree on these different levels. So I'm good with either way if we decide to vote now based on our last meeting and the discussions we had, because we did incorporate that, or if we want to wait and wait till Stacy gets here.
Okay. Vigo, how shall we proceed? Should we just take a vote to confirm these levels and then?
If I recall correctly, there were a couple different things that I think the membership group was going to update us on. There were a couple questions that came up at the last in-person meeting. So I do think that maybe the best course of action would be to pause. And I don't know if maybe towards the end of the meeting, we might have Stacy on and can circle back around. If not, we can postpone this vote until February.
That sounds good.
Okay. So communications working group, do we have somebody on that can provide us with an update aside from me?
Yes, I
Okay,
am
great.
here. I did provide some slides, so I don't know if you guys have those or not.
To you.
Yay, awesome. Okay, great. Okay, we have the winner of the PBHC color palette. I know no one slept last night because you guys are all waiting on bated breath. I'm just kidding. But we are excited. We are very, very excited about this. And obviously shout out to Heather from our group for using her talent to make this happen. So the winner is, drum roll, please. It was palette number 3, Desert Sunrise, which is an Arizona desert inspired color palette. And the colors are olive green, sunset coral, golden yellow, clay red, and light beige. And now that we have the winning palette in, we will certainly provide like what those like the numbers are in coordination of the colors, so that if you guys are designing things, you know what the exact color specification is. But yeah, that was the winning palette. If you guys want to go to the next slide and see who came in, who tied for second. It was Desert Serenity and Palette Sin Nombre. And there you go. But Heather also had mentioned on our comms team that you know, if there's any particular, if there's like a couple more colors we wanted to add to the winning palette, like we can do that. So if maybe we want to put some blue in there or something, I know that's something that's certainly workable, but that's our big update for now. And now that we have this piece of our branding toolkit, we'll be able to move forward with our other initiatives. So thank you everybody for voting.
Wonderful. So
Oh,
we
sorry.
we'll take the color palette back to the meeting that we have. And Lauren, we will talk about in the working group what our next steps are for using the color palette, right? So exciting stuff to come. Let's see. And then coalition activities working group. Sorry, Vico. Could you please advance the slide?
I was gonna say that I just saw Stacy Hackett jump on the call. Do we
I'm
want
so
to
sorry.
backtrack and maybe go back to those slides real quick before we move on to the activities group?
I would love to. Please do so.
And
Stacy,
are we supposed to be seeing slides?
yes. Can you not see the slides?
It says can't display content. There was a problem displaying the content. That's the notice that's showing up. I'm not seeing it unless it's just on my computer. I'm wondering if other people are able to see the slides.
Are others? Yeah. So we have one chat say yes, Chris can see them. I think it might just be on your end. And
Well, no,
you
somebody else said I couldn't see them either. So I'm wondering. Kelly also said she couldn't see them either. Okay.
What are you seeing, Anne?
I'm just seeing there's kind of a message in the middle of the screen. Can't display content. There was a problem displaying the content. Maybe I'll try closing the chat and see if that helps. No,
You might want to sign out
Is
and
it
sign
for-
back
that's
in.
what I'm
I'm
thinking.
still- Is it
I'll sign
possibly
off.
for those outside of Pima County? Are there other
Ah.
people like that are external? I don't really know. Just
I'm-
This is Kate. I'm still seeing the color palette.
Yeah,
okay.
same.
Oh,
Okay, well,
I guess I
I'll
can't
leave
go.
and I'll sign off and come back on and see if that helps.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me also try presenting the slides in a different format. So we'll go back to the membership work group from this current slide. Let's see.
Okay, Stacy is on now. Do we want to have Stacy present when Vico is able to get slides back up?
Are you all seeing those now?
Yes, we can see him.
Yep.
Stacy, did you have an update for us?
I did. So the update is just presenting you all with what Vico sent about an hour and a half ago regarding the individual descriptions for the memberships. So we took your feedback from our last board meeting and made those updates. And so I think we are in our final version of recommendations, so we can move forward with a vote.
Okay. Vico, do you want to bring up maybe the descriptions? Do you have that just so somebody can that didn't have access to them peruse them?
Oh, I'm sorry. You want a meeting?
Yep. Got him.
Thank you.
Okay. So, you are seeing right now the individual youth partner and then eventually, which this was sent out to you all, should have it in your email. And the second page is sponsor membership. So if everybody is agreeable, I don't see a problem in taking a vote, Vico, unless you need Michael here to be able to confirm that. Anne?
Oh, I just had a question on the from reading through the 4 different levels of membership. I just had one question. So when it's referring to the nonprofit, is PBHC a nonprofit organization at this point?
Well, we're a coalition.
Right. It's because there's reference in the various levels of membership. There's a reference to, at least it seemed to be, there was reference to nonprofit. Was I misreading that or reading that?
Hi,
from-
Anne.
And
Hi,
it looks
Ann.
like there's a nonprofit reference for partner membership.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 3.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
says-
under the target audience is where you saw it, Anne.
Okay. Small business, no, but or with the nonprofit. Okay. Or a closer relationship with the nonprofit. So I wondered what the nonprofit, what that was referencing.
Stacy, would you say that this statement here, target audience, small businesses, community organizations, or professionals wanting a closer relationship with the nonprofit is the coalition?
Correct.
Okay, so we will update that to read coalition instead
Yeah.
of nonprofit.
Yep, I'm going to
Okay.
change it right now, just so it's going to be changed on a live status and we don't have to worry about missing that important detail later.
Thank you.
Stacy, it's also up in the youth membership under
Yeah, I
expectations.
saw it a couple of times.
I'm going to do a word search real quickly and then just replace it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's probably words Chat GPT assists with.
Oh, yeah.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Oh, and it's also, oh, never mind.
Yeah,
We've
it's in
already
there
addressed-
yeah, it's in there 5 times. So it will be changed to coalition.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so shall we take about 30 more seconds? And then vote?
I would like to propose that.
Okay, thank you. So
Hey,
what I
Vico.
will,
Sorry, Adrian. Vico, do you mind zooming in to like 125 on the document?
I'm at about 150 right now. Does that
Oh,
look big enough?
no. Could you do like 175 then? Oh, that's so much better. Thank you. My eyes thank you.
I know they're having issues on the back end, and then our internet has been spotty.
okay, why don't we take a vote, and if you could put in the chat yay or well, let's do this. All in favor, please put yay in the chat, unless you can do it differently, Vico, or raise hands. I don't know. What do you prefer?
Raise hands. Let's do raise hands, please.
Okay, raise hands. Keep it there for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. All in favor, please raise your hand and keep it there. Okay, Vico, you got 20.
6.
Yes. 26 yay.
Yay.
Okay, unraise your hands, everybody. Unraise, please. Or put your hands down or undo the button, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we got unraise your hands, please. Just for record's sake, please, who's the last person? Okay, for record's sake, I'm gonna wait. Who has?
I'm lowering some of y'all's hands since we already got the count. So Brenda and Carl, I'm gonna lower the hand and don't raise it again. We're good. We got your count.
Everybody
Sorry,
neutral.
I was having trouble with that.
No worries.
No problem.
Everybody neutral. Okay, for record's sake, if you abstain, please raise your hand. Or sorry, if you say nay, sorry, nay, no or nay, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. And for the record, we have 6, 26, and 4, and 3 is 7 who abstained. 7 no votes, Vigo.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all. So we have passing approval with 26 votes for yes for the membership categories. Thank you, membership working group, for providing that for the coalition. Very much appreciated. And then we will move to, what was it? Coalition Activities Working Group update, please, Vico.
Is Jennifer on the call? I'm not sure she's on the call. If not, that's no problem. I can go ahead and give the update for our team. The Coalition Activities Work Group has primarily been focused on starting to plan out the upcoming Youth Mental Health Summit, which will be held in March this year. There's a couple different challenges that we're facing but are navigating. The primary challenge is finding a space that is big enough that would allow us to have both youth participants in the summit as well as adult participants. So we're looking at a crowd of about 200 to 225 folks that we want to invite. And yeah, the biggest challenge has been identifying a location in Tucson that is big enough, has enough break rooms, and also fits the coalition's budget. So that is the biggest thing that we are pending on right now. Aside from that, we've also been working on developing a form for calls for proposals. This year, the activities work group has decided to open it up to the community to see what proposals we receive for presentations and workshops. So the team met yesterday and we looked through that that submission form and have started to also identify the theme of the summit, which will be informed by the MEC and Youth and Peace Conference themes that were brought up by youth in those dialogue circles. So definitely keep an eye out for those pieces. We're hoping to have the submission form ready to be shared out by not next week, but the week after that. So in 2 weeks. And when we have that, we'll be sure to share it out with all of you so you can consider potentially submitting a proposal and doing a presentation or sharing it with your contacts.
How
Any
big of a
questions on that?
workspace? Yeah, how big of a workspace is needed for how many people and how many breakout rooms?
Yeah, so about 225 people is what we're looking at, and we need one large ballroom that could sit everyone for the opening plenary, the youth panel, and then closing remarks. And then we need 2 to 3 smaller breakout rooms where folks could divide into those and fit could be accommodated in those.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, if any of you all have suggestions for venues that would be super supportive, we do have some amount of a budget, but you know, there are certain limitations. The biggest challenge that we're navigating right now is that most big hotels that do conferences require that you purchase food with them. You're not allowed to do catering from an external source. And if you all remember, if you attended last year, we've had catering from Cafe a la carte, which is a lot more economic than working with the hotel food suppliers. And so that is one of the biggest challenges. The big venues, conference venues, throw us a little bit outside of the budget that we have for this event. So if you have other suggestions for places that might not have those stipulations that would allow us to bring in our own catering from an external partner or restaurant, that would be super appreciated. You can feel free to email anyone in the activities work group or the coalition steering committee. I know we have a couple other folks who are members of the group. Was there anything that I missed that we wanted to bring up? So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. We're excited to be working on it, and really happy to be having this work group support in the development of it as well.
Thank you, Kelly, for the suggestion as well.
Ooh, is there a suggestion in the chat?
Student Union Ballroom. I had not thought about that.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research so we can also offer a conference here in the next year, and U of A is probably the route that AZYP will take as well. You do have to purchase the food from there as well, but because there's a lot of different restaurants within the student union as well, you have some flexibility with pricing. And so that was really one of the cheapest I have found throughout Pima County.
Mm.
Thank you so much for that suggestion. We did think about and talk about the U of A being a potential space. The biggest challenge that we then run into with the U of A is parking, right? If we're bringing in about 125 folks who might be bringing in their own cars, will there be capacity to have parking, and what would that look like as well? But yeah,
So
I really appreciate. Go ahead.
Whenever you do rent out the ballroom, you can also rent parking spaces in the Cherry Garage, which is the closest to the student union ballroom. And so depending if it fits within the budget, you can reserve, 200 to 250 parking spots within that garage as well. So depending on, I'm not sure what exactly the budget will be, but even with the parking included, it was still one of the cheapest that I could find. So maybe look into it. Hopefully it could be an option for us.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for suggesting that. And I might reach out to you at some later point and maybe pick your brain a little bit, see what other information you might have to share with us.
Sounds good. I'd be happy to help.
Thank you. And Lauren, I see here you're asking, are you thinking beginning or end of March? We're looking at the end of March, the last week of March. Tentatively, the date that we're looking at is Thursday, March 27th. Any other questions on that or suggestions? Okay, so I think we're good to move forward in the slides.
Thank you, Vico. So we're gonna do our working group breakouts. If you have not put in the chat already, please put in the chat where you would like to be. We have membership, communications and outreach, and expand and develop coalition activities. So please put in the chat where you would like to be, and Vico will kindly and as efficiently as possible, because Microsoft Teams is a bear to work with for breakout rooms, play the shuffle with you guys. So in about 60 seconds, we will be going out to breakout rooms. If you're left in the giant meeting group, you can then let us know where you would like to be. And this is your last time to tell us which work group you would like to be in. Oh, we should probably say that we're going to give, let me think about this, about 20 minutes to the breakout rooms, and then do a report back. Today we will have plenty of time to report back. So I appreciate that. We'll give 20 minutes for you guys to talk amongst yourselves. We'll call back at about 4:30 and then ask you guys to give an update, and then you can decide when you want to meet next with that time as well.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open the rooms. There's going to be several of you that will stay back, and I still have the same issue where you are blacked out and unable to be put into a room. So we'll troubleshoot that in a little bit, and then I'll have a better idea of who still needs to be assigned. So get ready to be pulled into your rooms. Oh, and it's saying that it's going to let me assign you this time. Let me know if there's a pop-up that pulls you into the activities team.
Teams is a little finicky, so it takes about 60 seconds for everybody to get shuffled around. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I now see AI note takers, Vigo, so maybe it wasn't that we had 33 people. It could have been.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty unanimous vote.
Okay, cool.
I'll take a look at the roster when I type up the notes.
Appreciate it.
Elizabeth Jimenez, communications. Melissa Hall. Okay, who is left? Daniel, do you know which team or which group you're in?
Oh, which Dan? You'll.
Daniel Dorrance.
Membership.
Membership? Okay. So let's work on that. So Daniel Dorrance, membership. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the line here of folks that I have. Adrian, which team are you in?
Communicate. Same one as Lauren, right? Communications?
Communications, yeah. RC?
You better be.
RC Corlides?
I don't remember because Raquel was like, oh, she should definitely be in that group after the last meeting, but I don't remember which one she said I should be in. And I don't remember which one I was in the last meeting.
I'm gonna put you in membership for now, and if it doesn't seem familiar, come back to the room and then I can reassign you.
Okay.
Brenda? Brenda?
See, Brenda.
Moving on, Daniel Landers.
He said, where's Daniel Landers? He said membership.
Membership.
Where's
Deanna
Brent?
activities, communication activities. Da, 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 da. Mark Person.
Oh, he just put in, where is it?
Coalition activities.
Activities, cool. Web activities. AI readers, none. Okay, cool. I think that's everyone.
And we're left in.
I'm not getting a pop-up to go into a room.
Let me
Oh,
see.
you'll be move in a second, it says.
Heather, your comms, correct?
Yeah. And I got put somewhere weird, and so I just tried to leave it, and then I had to come back, so that's why I'm back here. But comms is it? Yep.
Yeah, so it says here, Heather Severson comms. That says that's where you are assigned.
Yeah,
so
but I don't know. Well, maybe it's just taking a minute because there's so many things to drive.
And that should be in the membership.
Oh, you know what? I just saw, I found up, it's very subtle, but up here it says join room up at the top.
Yes, yes.
Learning every day, man. See you later. Peace out.
No problem. Kenneth, you said membership?
Yeah, I don't have that prompt to join a room, but yeah, membership.
Elizabeth Jimenez Vasquez, do you know which group you're in?
Communications. I'm back in. I've been out of connection with the group, so my hugest apologies, Lauren.
No problem. You should be assigned there too. You should see something in the top, like a banner in the top, pulling you to that room. Lauren, you should also be assigned to the communications. You haven't seen yours pop up either?
No, not yet.
Let's see. Lauren, communications. B. Let's see. Huh. It shows you in the communications room on my back end. As to join. Let's see. Julie, which group are you in? Julie Chivananda?
Communications.
Communications as well? Communications. Okay, save. RC. It says I put you in membership. Did you not get the banner at the top?
I did not.
Okay, very strange. Let's see, I wish I could just manually put y'all in those. Assign participants. Very confused. Let's see. You're not seeing a banner either, Lauren or Elizabeth?
No, I'm not.
Nope.
Yeah, Teams is not the easiest when it comes to breakout rooms. And it doesn't ever remember the breakout rooms that I created for the same meeting. So I have to
Oh,
like
that's
recreate
so
the break rooms
annoying.
every single time. So yeah, it's not the most fun.
Are there people in that group already that are?
Yeah, they are. They're most of them are in there. We got 10 folks in communication, 7 in membership, and 12 in activities. So would you two mind RC, Elizabeth, and Lauren, would you all mind logging out, exiting the meeting, and then coming back in, seeing if that does anything? Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Let's try it. RC, I'm going to do you first. We were going to put you in membership, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, membership. And then Elizabeth, you said you were comms?
Yes.
Communications. And then Lauren is also communications. So it is letting me reassign you all. I'm going to put save, and you should see the pop-up. RC, are you still here?
I am. I didn't see a pop-up.
It wasn't like a banner at the top?
The only thing that popped up was like your microphone is muted kind of at the top. That's it.
And Lauren, same with you?
Yes, same here.
Apparently Teams doesn't like us today.
I know.
Oh no.
Well, I'm sure our groups are rocking and rolling. Maybe they just don't need us today.
I'm trying a different way. Lauren comms. Yeah, I'm so sorry, y'all. It says one or more people didn't move into their new room, but it doesn't tell me why or anything like that.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, really weird because the banner never popped up, just that one that says microphone is muted.
Same.
I wonder if it's a setting thing.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, y'all.
It's not your fault. Device settings show. I'm on a Mac. I don't know. Mac doesn't like Teams.
Me too.
Oh, maybe that's the common factor.
Yeah, I'm on a Mac as well.
Okay, okay, that could totally be it. Are you? Did you see the chat, Lauren?
I do see a chat. Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian's asking about a Google folder.
Oh, hang on. There's nothing in the trash. I don't know.
The Google Drive folder says it's in your trash. Please assist. We want to work on the one pager.
Oh, no. Hang on. Let me, hang on. Copy link. Okay.
RC and Lauren, do you all have the Microsoft Teams app, or are you on the web browser?
I'm on the web.
Same, I'm on the web.
That
Okay,
must
so
be it.
I think that's the challenge. I think when you're on the web, you're able to just be a part of a meeting, but you're not able to have all the other features.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Sorry
good to
about
know.
Yeah, that's okay. That's weird though, Vico, because we've done it before.
We have done it before.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
See real quick. Let me put this in the chat for you all. This is what I found on the Apple App Store for Microsoft Teams.
Okay. Oh, of course it's saying it's blocked. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I think I see it. Microsoft.
Mine says not compatible with this device.
I wonder if, I don't know. Hang on. I'm gonna try. I'm looking. Wonder if I need to like update my Mac or something. I don't know.
Does yours do the same thing, not compatible?
Mine's not saying that, but it's not showing me where Teams is. I'm in like this app world for Microsoft, which sounds like that would be the right place, but
Okay, I'm gonna try, let's see, RC, I'm gonna try assigning you to a different group and see what happens then.
Okay.
So I'm gonna assign RC you to communications, and I'm gonna click save. Let me know if you see a banner or anything.
Okay. Nothing's popped up so far.
Nothing still.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't see anything.
That's so weird. Let's see, Lauren, let's try putting you in activities. Nothing either.
Sorry, I was in the app store. I went back to the store. Let me see. No, I haven't seen any banners or anything. It must just be that. I mean,
Yeah, so unfortunately, I have had issues with compatibility with Teams on Macs. It shouldn't be this difficult though, because like Lauren said, like I've worked on my Mac and been able to do a breakout, so I'm not super sure what's going on. I would suggest maybe when we're done with this meeting or at some other point in time, just double checking that whatever Teams you're using is up to date or that the Mac is up to date. But other than that, I'm not super sure what else to suggest. Sorry about that.
it's okay. I got the same thing. Mine says it's not compatible. So yeah, I wonder maybe an update or something. Rah.
All right, yeah.
Oh, hopefully they found the link.
I'm gonna go pop into my activities group real quick,
Okay.
but I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
for that. So anyways,
That answered my question.
I heard you asking as we're being transported through time and space.
Welcome back, everyone. It was a surprise, right? It doesn't give you very much of a warning.
At least Zoom gives us like a 5, like, oh, you have 5 minutes, you have 1 minute, whatever it is that it says. It's like, boom, gone.
Yes. We will go through, I don't see Vico, but
he's here.
Okay. Let's I'll just randomly choose somebody from communications who's not me. Please provide an update on what we discussed.
Okay, I'll give a stab at it, and please somebody else like jump in if I'm forgetting something.
Love it.
So we went through the one pager again, kind of looking at all the bullet points, and really one of the things that we thought about is that and if I wish I had the bullet point, the one pager in front of me now, but the last 2 bullet points when it was what section was that we wanted to flush out more about what specifically when we're saying that we are the conduit, for instance, of resources for the community, what exactly does that look like? So thinking that we might need to flush out a little bit more about the specifics of that. We've also discussed the join us or versus call to action versus join us. What does that mean as well? Determining whether, I know that we needed a link to the membership in order to kind of put into this one pager so that folks that are interested in learning more, that we can put those in there. Help others. What do we talk about?
We had an update that JTED has not responded, but we have inquired about a price quote for any type of, what is it called? It's not a motto. It's not an emblem. Just
logo. Logo. Yes.
Yes, that.
So waiting for that.
And then Julie informed us that we will also be checking with USD's CTE in the future for the same information if JTED
and I think Kelly mentioned that she has some information specifically around data that we could put in there that would be kind of like, why it's important to be a part of this. The youth survey was
Arizona Youth
some
Survey.
Specific like data from there. So Kelly was going to be looking into that. And I think it was something else, right, Kelly?
No, you're good. You're good. That we're looking at a couple of specific data points to Arizona because we have some statistics for youth overall, but we want to include a couple of specifics to Arizona. Thank you, Ellie. I really appreciate it. How about strengthening membership? Who would like to provide an update?
I can. We talked about one of the things we'd like to do as we were talking about the membership, we would like to amend under individual membership where it says participate in meetings is an expectation. We would like to add and work groups. Is participating in meetings does not necessarily mean that they'll be participating in work groups, and we think that that's important. So we would like to add that if people are okay with that.
Yes.
Is that under the expectations area?
It is.
Okay.
I think that should be fine. And the reason why I say that is that the working groups often, if they can't make the external one, right, once a month, it's part of the meeting. So that should be self-explanatory within the meeting. And everybody knows what the definition of participation and participating is. So, what is it called? Being off video and muted does not include participation in the definition. Okay. Anything else?
So we've also talked about all of the things, all of the information we want to collect on the form. And so we'll be creating a form that collects basic information and asks which level of membership they're going to want to participate in. So I think that's it.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay. I just lost track. I think I just went one by one. What about coalition activities? Do we have an update or somebody to give an update on coalition activities?
Yeah, I'll jump in because I kind of talk the most, if that's okay with everyone.
Yep.
I will take that silence as a yes. So in our group, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So in our group, we talked about our upcoming Youth Mental Health Summit and challenges that we're facing right now, primarily around selection of a venue because of the county's inability to pay for food. While we have funding, that is a major barrier in terms of being able to actually do a request for quotes and contract out for food. And so it's been proposed, and I'll propose it out to the whole group. There's a need for support for an organization, perhaps an organization that doesn't have their own signature conference, that would be able to be the fiscal agent and the organization that would contract directly with the venue for this in service of the coalition. That achieves two things, and I spoke to this. One is it removes like the county health department holding the keys to the palace for this event, the signature event for the summit, and positions us as a supporter, right? It also shores up human resources because in the past, a large portion of the work and planning has fallen largely on the youth and schools team here at the health department. And now that we have this wonderful strategic plan and these work groups, we're at a place now where the county needs to be able to back out a little bit because we've helped in the ways that we could to uplift and launch, right, this coalition, but we're at a place now that it's healthy and it's ready to flourish, and we have the human resources to spread the love a little bit. So the ask is if there's any organizations out there who would be willing to be that fiscal agent, who would be able to accept sponsorships and solicit sponsorships for the Youth Mental Health Summit and be able to pay for the food and the venue. What would happen is the county itself would be able to be a title sponsor for that event and covering the majority of that cost, right? We're also putting an ask out there for organizations to support financially. We have a healthy human resources here, but we also know the county, or the world, not just the county, the world runs on money, right? So we really need organizations, especially larger nonprofits, to be budgeting for their active participation in the coalition and to be providing support for initiatives like this to the coalition. Now, in future years, we also acknowledge our strategic plan aims to look at the coalition exploring incorporation as a nonprofit itself. But even still, with that incorporation and being able to like get grant funding and things of that nature, they're still going to need larger organizations to support, possibly even still as a fiscal agent. The county as a governmental entity is never going to be able to offer that. And we're at this stage now where it's time for the coalition to grow up and move out, right? And so I think we have the support as a community to make that happen. And we will get there, but that's years, like that's in like 2-3 years, right? What we know is this year, the county health department has budgeted for this and we have the funding. We need community-based organizations or an organization to step up in this way so that we can overcome this initial barrier of deciding the venue, knowing that we can cover food costs and move to things like registration, announcement of this in the community, a call to for abstracts for workshops, right? And have enough time for our TOSD partners to be able to do field trip forms and all of the things related to that, right? So we can have our youth track. So we can achieve this vision. We need a community-based organization to step up and fulfill that role. Did I think I covered that pretty succinctly.
And Michael, I wasn't sure if you, if I may have just missed it, that for this year, the alternative, or not an alternative, but an additional option is for any of us that could put money in towards food to be able to do that this year, to be able to come, even if, you know, it's not like $1,000, I mean, even if it's only what, 200 or 300, but if it,
correct,
if lots of us put that in, then.
Yeah, we are aiming to make this as accessible as possible so that when we're thinking about an organization, being that fiscal agent for the next several, at least to this year, but preferably for the next 2 or 3 as we move through this strategic plan. We talked about or introduced the idea of having a modest registration fee. We want this to be accessible. That's well within small nonprofit and large nonprofit professional development budgets. And we would charge, our vision for that, if we were to move that route, would create some financial sustainability so that we can offset the cost of food and venue with that. And whatever's left over, you know, that could roll over into another year. But we're still thinking in the ballpark of like, I don't know, 35 to 50, 60 bucks, right? When you think about conferences and things, that's pretty cheap. And so it's because it's heavily subsidized right now by the county, and it can be by nonprofits, so that access to the information is not based on who can afford it, right? And our goal there would also be to not charge anything for young people to attend, right? So right now, the ask is we need one organization that has the ability to do that contracting and all of that for us and be invoiced and solicit sponsorship, and the county can pay for it. And on the flip side, everyone else, we're looking for folks to chip in to the food cost. We already have a commitment of $3,000 from Palo Verde Behavioral Health, so that's a good start. But we're aiming to get, it looks like we're going to need about $12,000 for food.
And the only thing else I wanted to say about that is when I think about what that means and what that amount of money could buy, if we weren't having to buy the food through a venue like a hotel, a large hotel or something that requires that. And that's what was interesting also about hearing from someone who was suggesting about the university, that we looked at that, but we knew the university also, you've got to go with their food department, but they were indicating it's probably less, but I don't know how much less really then. So I just keep thinking, you know, about wanting to find some venues that are big enough that we don't have to be required to use the food that the venue provides, you know, that we can bring the food in from the outside, from the community, because clearly we could do it at a much lower cost and be supporting more local organizations or businesses. But so just, you know, that whole issue of are we really, you know, as we grow the Youth and Peace Conference as well, but as we, you know, look for venues that can adequately handle the number of people and the number of breakout rooms and all of that, just, you know, wondering about other spaces in the community that might be more flexible in terms of allowing us to contract with people in the community for the food rather than having to go through the hotel.
Totally, and I'll add to that, Anne, is in previous work group meetings, it was decided, because we had explored even using TUSD sites, but because we're bringing in a lot of teachers and educators, it was decided that, and a lot of you may feel this way, when you go to a professional development opportunity, if it's in your office, in your work building, right, you're going to be in your email, you're going to be distracted. But if you go to something that allows you to escape your typical environment, you may be more focused on the task before you, right? And so that doesn't mean we need to spend $1 million. I'm not saying that, but I think it was decided, like, for sure we didn't want to end up in a school building, you know, so that we could offer something to educators and students who are coming to this that is elevated. And so I do think that there are community-based possibilities. You know, all of the ones that we've kind of looked at, haven't met the specification of the vision of 100 staff and 125 young people with main ballroom and breakout rooms and all of that. So that's the main challenge. But I know that this wasn't for like discussion. This was about reporting back. So I'll turn it back to you, Adrian. We're going to be very busy over the next several months. So if anyone is very interested in the Youth Mental Health Summit, we invite you to join our work group.
I see that Liz has a hand up. Liz, did you want to share something?
Yeah, thank you, Vigo. I was just wondering, I don't know if this would be super helpful, but you know, we've talked about all of the different places that have been explored that maybe could work or couldn't work. If maybe we could get a list of places that we've already, say, ruled out or that we've reached out to, just so that if, you know, because I personally would love to reach out to any contacts I have. I'm all about networking. So just a thought is, you know, if we already know that there are places that we've said that won't work, or even just who we've already reached out to, it could help some of us, you know, doing double work or anything like that. So if that's a possibility to be shared, that might be good.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Liz. I'll definitely work on creating a spreadsheet that kind of indicates that, and also like maybe has a cover sheet detailing the needs we have for the space, so that when you're reaching out to your contacts, you know exactly what it is that we're looking for. That would be yeah, more than willing to work on that.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I want to add one more piece. And just so everyone understands.
Wait, Michael, can I, sorry to interrupt. I have
Yeah,
to,
go
I
ahead.
have I'm gonna ask that you two close the meeting because I have
Okay.
another client appointment. So please say your piece, have the call to audience, and then let us know when the next meeting is.
Awesome.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Adrian.
Thank you.
So the other reason why having a nonprofit step in to be the contracting party is the coalition could say, we want to have it at X place. Whereas if it's through the county, we have to go through a request for quotes, and it has to be a competitive bid, and we have to go with the cheapest. So that may mean that we don't have as much agency as we would like as a group. So I'm really aiming to just sponsor the event and give this group more power in the decision making. And that's the last thing I'll say. Thank you so much.
I see a hand for Cassandra.
Hi, I just want to make sure I heard correctly. So if you find a nonprofit that can do all the contracting, you can reimburse through the county?
Correct.
Because it won't stay
Basically,
correct. Okay.
Yeah, so
I know.
the nonprofit would solicit for sponsorships, and I would respond to that and sponsor the event. And you would invoice me for that sponsorship, and the money would come to your organization. And so all of the invoices that you receive, you would pay.
Okay, sorry. I mentioned in the work group. So my name is Cassandra. I am with the Arizona Peer and Family Career Academy. Brisa Rubio, my boss, put this on my calendar, and I wasn't really sure what I was here for, but with all of the discussions, we are a nonprofit. We do hold our own conference, but we do planning, we do summit planning and stuff like that in collaboration with other agencies and stuff like that. We're planning a Northern Arizona summit right now with Summit Health and things like that. So let me get this information back to Brisa and get back to you all to see if this is something that we can help with.
That would be phenomenal, Cassandra. Thank you so much, and welcome to our coalition as well.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move us forward in the slides so we can close out today. Call to audience, wanted to open it up for any announcements from coalition members.
I have an announcement.
Here, Kate, and then I saw Anne's hand. So let's go with Kate and then Anne.
We have our Diverse Voices in Prevention conference coming up on January 30th. We have panelists and keynote speakers and Tony Redhouse doing an amazing interactive cultural dance and music and all kinds of interesting fun drums and flutes and music. He has a whole stage full of instruments and does all of this really great stuff. He's amazing to see. And then we also have dialogue circles at the event. And so I would really love if folks could attend. I'm going to drop the registration link in the chat. And there's more information on the website. So please come to DVIP.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll definitely keep an eye out for that. There's that link. Yeah.
Oh, and thank you to the health department for sponsoring. You guys are amazing. I love you.
Thank you, Kate. Anne, did you want to share something?
Yeah, thanks. And DVIP, the Diverse Voices in Prevention, is always a really powerful event whenever it happens. So well worth participating in for sure. Speaking of events, we're having a sustainability summit in February for the annual Youth and Peace Conference. I know I've been talking about it actually on and off for the last year because we were trying to do it earlier in 2024. And then other things just kept getting in the way and taking precedence. So we are holding as I said, a sustainability summit. We're going to be looking at the sustainability of this annual Youth and Peace Conference. For any of you that are on the call today that have been partners or sponsors with Tucson Youth and Peace for the annual Youth and Peace Conference, we certainly thank you for that involvement on and off and over the years. And we'll be sending an invitation out and a type of doodle survey to get the best date in February for that to all of the different organizations that have been sponsors or partners over the years with the conference. And that includes, of course, some of the school districts that have been involved and sent students to the conference. So just wanting people to be aware that that's going to be something coming up, and we'll be sending the notice around to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anne. And just to reiterate, if you all have events, flyers, anything that you would like to have incorporated in the PBHC newsletter, feel free to send those over to me. I typically send the newsletter like the Friday a week after our meeting. So typically our meeting is the first Thursday of the month. So by the second Friday of the month, I have that newsletter out. Since we changed our date for our meeting this month, I'm shooting to have that newsletter ready to go out by the 17th. So if you have things that you would like included in there, please send them to me by the 17th, and I would be more than happy to include them.
Cool.
Awesome. So I think that brings us to the end of our meeting. The next meeting will be February 6th. It will also be a virtual Teams meeting, 3:30 to 5, the same as today. Please let me know if you have any questions or any issues between now and then on any of the coalition work groups. And if not, thank you so much for coming and being a part of today's meeting.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Have a good evening.